Best for last, the vendor room, and this place was almost packed to the rafters. I had such a ball down here, and I am still financially recovering from it. I met so many cool vendors down here. I'm actually going to have to break this up into two different segments. What made this really fun is how interactive it was. So people bringing new kits and showing them off, new tools, aftermarket, doing demo, publications, build-ups of new kits that are about to hit the market. It was such a good time. So let's jump in here and meet some of these awesome vendors. All right, everybody, I'm here with Judy Crandall from Eagles Editions Limited. Real quick, how did the company start, Judy?
We started in 1974. My late husband, Jerry Crandall, and I started the company with his paintings, with his Western art. And in 1982, we were contacted by an aviation gallery to do a B-17 to celebrate, B-17 painting to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the B-17 for Boeing Museum.
Okay.
And he's always worked for McDonnell Douglas, and he loves the Old West, and he loves airplanes, fell in love with the Focke-Wulf and the 109, and at a Bond drive when he was 10. He leaned over it and looked into it and smelled it, and he said, I've got to find out about the men and the machines of World War II.
That's incredible.
So we've got Luftwaffe and we've got American West. So we started in 74 with his art. In 82, we branched out into aviation. And then in 96, we decided to get into book publishing.
Yeah.
Since the 60s, he had been interviewing Luftwaffe pilots, and he always had a dream to write books. And this was his last book. He passed away in June of 22. This was his last book, Fighters of the Iron Cross. And it's a compilation of some of the Luftwaffe fighter pilots who we interviewed, and copies of their planes and all about their combat events. This is the number 2 volume of a 2-volume set on the Focke-Wulf 190 Dora, which was his favorite aircraft. He loved the inline Dora. Volume 1 has long been sold out. And then I don't have any of his other books here. These are other books by other authors. Wolfgang Falk was interesting. Good friend of ours. We visited with him and his wife in Austria. And Wolf was the father of the night fighters, Luftwaffe.
Oh, wow.
And he's just a special guy. He wanted to write his story. He said, Judy, you publish books. Would you write my story? And he said, I don't know where to start. I said, Wolfie, let me send you a tape recorder and a bunch of cassette tapes, and you just start talking. Yep. And I said, if you speak English, he was with NATO for a while. And he said, well, if I speak in German, is that okay? I said, sure. You speak in whatever language we want. We have a translator. So I got back 7 tapes of him just talking. And he tells his whole story from the very beginning.
Wow.
When in 1938, he was invited to go to Russia to learn to fly 110s and whatever airplanes they had at the time. I'm not the historian, Jerry was. Then we started recently a series. I think it was about 20 years ago, we started the Wings of the Black Cross series. And Jerry had written the first 2 or 3. Now Mark Pruell of, see here, Jerry did the first 2. Mark Pruell took over. And when Jerry was passing away, he said from his hospital bed, Judy, I want you to continue with Eagle. And I said, I will, as long as I can. Yeah. And he said, and I want Mark to continue the Wings of the Black Cross. And this is a series of photos that Mark has collected. Of course, Jerry was a photo collector as well. Most of these are unpublished. And through the captions, Mark explains, and Jerry, of course, in the first 2, what the units are, who the pilot was, and then in the back we have color profiles of some of the paintings. And then last year, Mark came up with the idea to do Wings of the Allies. Let's branch out, and so we're doing a series, Wings of the Allies, the European Air War, and of course it'll have Hurricanes and Spitfires and P-47s and the usual. Our artist And and this section too is a new section for this series. It's called A Closer Look. And in every one of these issues, they'll have, Mark will prepare, this particular one is Operation Tidal Wave. He might have something about a P-47 unit or something that was significant. And in the back of the book, we have color profiles by James Bentley.
Wow.
And he is a fabulous guy to work with, doesn't complain. If we say the tail should be pink, he'll paint it pink. I mean, he follows our instructions. We never guess on anything. Honestly, we never guess. Jerry was a stickler for presenting the facts and letting the reader determine the conclusion, or if possible.
Those are incredible. Those look like some great reference material.
They're excellent for modelers who love them. And they're reasonably priced, $20, $25, depending, you know. So they're an excellent.
Okay.
And in addition to, Jerry was very much of a color guy.
Yeah.
He and a number of the other top Luftwaffe guys would discuss colors by the hour, by the day. So Jerry decided we should do a real Luftwaffe color chart, which we did. We actually went to Werniger and Bain, and they gave us their original recipes, and this was in Bavaria, and we made up these color charts. These are not printed, these are actual painted chips.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, of course, we have the certificate of authenticity from Werniger and Bain.
Okay.
They were recognized by the RLM as the supplier of the Luftwaffe paints, and they were the designer or the inventor of a substance called Icarol, which they put over the planes to prevent them from peeling, especially in the Mediterranean when they would get wet.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to win a Facebook argument about what color plane, you should get that chart.
Yes, you should.
And what else do we have here,
Okay,
Judy?
we have a series of parts. Jerry would buy, of course, he was a fantastic modeler and had the usual thousands of kits in the stash.
Right.
And he actually built models for commissions.
Yeah.
In fact, he was working on the U-boat 552? And we sold it for a commission, on a commission. Well, some of the parts on the Luftwaffe air fighters, like the Dora 9 or the A8 or even the 109, some of the manufacturers didn't quite get it right, and he was a stickler for authenticity. He really was. So we designed a series of parts that could be retrofitted for a Tamiya, for an Edward, for a Zukimura if needed. And he was a fanatic about the D9, and he always complained about the guns on the nose.
Yeah.
And so we made a number of 3-piece and 5-piece gun hoods, and they were correct and appropriate. We had cockpits and that sort of thing. But our hallmark, other than these two series, is our decals.
Right. And I gotta say, I love your decals. And I told you this yesterday, but I will get lost down, a Google rabbit hole of just looking at your decals and what you have, and then it turns into me buying more kits I don't need because I'm going to build that plane, or I'm going to build that plane. So you guys are, probably the bane of my checking account sometimes, but
we love you, Austin.
Oh, I love them too. So.
But Jerry wanted to design some decals, and so we hired a designer to do them, and Jerry would feed him the information. Many times, if we have the photos that we can use to publish, sometimes they're not allowing us to publish the owners. The owners of the photos won't allow us to publish it, but we will actually publish an insert of the photo of the actual plane. One of our favorites, of course, is the Doors of the Gallant Circus was our first Eagle Files, which was another series that's now sold out.
Yeah.
But this is the famous Papagei Staffel, or the red and white stripe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are gorgeous.
And we've redone some of these, modified. After new photos surfaced, we were able to modify some of the numbers to make the proper shapes, and so, and then we have BF 109s, we've got Typhoons, Spitfires. I love the Mark 1 Spitfire. We've got 110s, you name it, we've got it.
Yeah. Who prints your decals?
Cartograph.
Great.
In Italy.
Great. Yep.
And of course, James Bentley has been doing our last batch of decals. We have had other artists do them through the years, and they've either retired or gone on. But James Bentley is currently our profile artist.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah, I love them. There's a set of Corsair decals I'm probably going to buy today. So
good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
You didn't have to try too hard.
No.
Well, Judy, thanks for sharing. Thanks for, showing us the inside of Eagle Editions and what you guys did and how you started. I love the history, and I love all the work you guys have put into your research and stuff. So I appreciate the time you gave us, and I hope you do well this weekend.
Thank you, Austin. I appreciate the offer to present our business to the world.
No problem.
I do miss Jerry. I wish he were here. He loved IPMS. In fact, he knew who's the founders of, I can't remember his name, but he knew him, and they got together, and he was one of the first men to bring a German pilot to speak at the banquet in Chicago.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think that was in the 60s.
Yeah.
In the 60s. He was living in Atlanta at the time, and he picked up Horst Petzler in Wichita and drove him up to Chicago, and they had a Luftwaffe panel discussion about what it was like. And of course, Horst was this big old guy and just animated, and he could have a belly laugh, and all the guys just had such a ball. I wish I could have been there.
Me too.
But I was in high school.
Yeah, I wasn't even around yet.
No, but thank you again, Austin.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Judy.
Ciao.
All right, everybody. I'm here with the one and only Andy Klein. Andy, how are you doing? And
Real
how you
good.
doing, Nats?
Very much so. I'm having a good time over here.
Yeah. I see you brought your whole range of 1/16 scale kits.
Most of them right now. The Tiger and the original Sherman are all sold out, so we don't have any more of those. They're sold out worldwide, in fact.
Okay.
So.
What inspired you to do 1/16 scale? What was that?
I like the bigger scale building myself, and I thought there was a need in the market to produce them that are reasonable for the average modeler. To keep them not at the $300 to $400 range, to keep them at something that people can afford. And like I said, that's first and foremost. I like building those, and I thought other people would too. And
yeah, I get intimidated because I feel like I'm going to spend just as much on paint as I am on the kit.
Believe it or not, you throw more paint out of the pot away when you're painting a 35th scale model than this right here. A regular Tamiya bottle will still do 3 or 4 of them right there easily. So.
I mean, seeing them up close and like some of these smaller kits and these interior kits, it's like when you get to see them in person, you start to go, well, maybe I might get that.
And it's so much easier. Like this is Das Works brand new kit. They can get all the hinges to work, all the motor in there, all the detail that, or even like little tie downs.
Yeah.
That just doesn't pop up on a 35th scale. It'll be like a little bump.
Right.
And it doesn't have the detail that you can get out of 35th.
And I had, growing up, I had the G.I. Joes. And so this bigger scale kind of reminds me of having my G.I. Joes to get them all decked out.
Oh, yeah.
So is there anything, have you released your special release yet? Or is that
well, the special release for this show was Das Works 250 half track. This is just got announced 2 hours ago.
Okay.
My video just went up on it. Same time, I filmed it last week and just had it ready to go. I have another kit that I'm going to be announcing I thought it might be ready to be announced by now, but you need a couple more weeks. So look for that soon too.
And just since you've been in the hobby so long, what have you seen over the years that's really changed the hobby? Like what innovations or what products or kits or techniques have you seen that have come along the way and really...
I don't know if it's necessarily a technique or anything, but just the detail that they're getting out of the kits now. It's just incredible. Even in 35th scale and all the scales, detail has just gone up through the roof and compared to and the fit, because everything is done properly. You're pretty sure that it's going to fit even before they actually even do a test shot. We do a test shot this way, and rarely it might be a little tweak here and there, but for the most part, they're ready to go together.
So this one more quick thing. You inspired me to open a hobby shop. I'm nowhere near doing that. I think they're coming back. I think people really want to be in brick and mortars. They want to put their hands on things. They want to talk to modelers. What what piece of advice would you have for anybody who's pursuing like a brick and mortar hobby shop? What's something?
Oh yeah, it's definitely still popular by all means. I think a lot of companies get involved with a lot of different stuff. We're a model company first and foremost. That's all we do. We try to do one thing and do it well. So
Great.
that's probably the best thing, rather than get involved with too many little things.
Yeah. Well, I tell people you're the man who saved the hobby. I don't know if that's true or not, but Frodo Baggins, Luke Skywalker, Andy Klein. How about that?
You're very kind.
Well, thank you, Andy. I'm glad I got to catch up with you, and I hope you're enjoying Nats, and it looks like you're doing well.
Absolutely.
You're
I appreciate
obviously
it.
the celebrity of the hour, it seems
I
like.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andy. All right, guys. Okay, guys, I'm here with Valeria from ICM, and we're happy to have her here. And it looks like you have a whole table of goodies that have hit the market. So what'd you guys bring to the IPMS Nationals to show off this year?
Hi everyone, I'm Valeria. Happy to see you all, and everyone who is now on the IPMS Nats. Welcome to our tables. There is a first our time at the IPMS Nats, but we will next year also in Virginia, and we have already booked the tables, so see you also. This year we brought a lot of new items from us, and some build items were kindly brought by the models from the United States, and we are showing the model kits from their personal collections. If you want to represent your personal ICM kits in our next year tables, just feel free to contact us and we will show it in our tables here. So here we just give the opportunity to people to open all the boxes that they want and to see all the sprues around.
Okay.
Here also the table with the series The Brave Ukraine. Actually, we came to United States and feel incredible support of the all people, and it's really literally in the air. So this is the Ukrainian series of the Ukrainian armor and figures and so on. And here also I have the new item in a 24 scale, the model A. That is 100% new mold, and it is the release of May 2024. Here you can see all the sprues and the build-up one. You can also here check the instructions to look more about the ICM paints, and here is the link for our YouTube video, as we have now the YouTube video instructions for almost all our new items. And if you have any cases with the instructions, you can just go to the video instructions and go from the different angles, like from the different angles the same one steps, and it will give you more clear understanding of the kit. And whatever, you can just check the video instruction before your purchase and just have understanding of the complexity of the kit and have more like knowing about that kit before you purchase it. Here we have the build up B24K Counter Invader that was a really bestseller of last years. There is a build one by Cheap Genius, kindly offered to us. And here is also 100% new molds Humvee. It is already released and you can pre-order it from our distributors in the United States. This is available and this is the basic item. We will have more versions this year also. Here we have the landing mats in a 35 scale and 48 scale, and the idea of that you can cover, for example, your shelf where you present your aircraft shelf at home. Just take a few boxes of that. It will look gorgeous to represent all your favorite build model kits there. And of course, the main character, main aircraft of our these IPMS Nats in Marauder. Here we are showing all the sprues that we have. It was really huge project for us. This is brand new tools, 100% new molds. Everything is made in Ukraine by ICM. And we have the 3 build-up versions here. So we are showing here all the 3 markings there are in boxes. this one, the Coral Princess, and the third one, Marken. And we have another one versions dedicated to D-Day anniversary. This is the same one, Marauder, but it includes also the figures, and the price difference is quite attractive. So this is also a new one and available already for sale. And here we also have the ICM range full of ICM acrylic water-based paints. So it is the first time we brought it to the United States, but it will be available from now. So we have the water-based acrylics. It's totally safe and really good acrylic paints made with the best Spanish European raw materials. It is prepared for brushed. But it's gone very well with any acrylic thinner that you have from various brands, or just simply with the water, and you can use it for airbrushing. We have 77 colors in our range. All of them you can mix between each other to achieve your perfect shade that you need. And we have also in range 3 varnishes and a lot of paint sets here. If you didn't try the ICM paints yet, we have some paint sets, for example, that you can use for models like from Marauder, or you just can start it from the Try Me paint set, which includes the most popular colors like white, black, gunmetal, and even gray primer. So these are the colors that you will still have on your shelf, so you just can try to use ICM this time. And for the IPMS Nats, we have the special release of the t-shirts in the 3 colors with the different prints. It will be later available for pre-order from MMD Squadron for sure. It's of very good quality, and I'm actually wearing the same one. So what we have at the IPMS Nats, if you are somewhere around, we will be happy to see you. If not this year, welcome next year. We will be here and we will be happy to meet you in person.
Awesome. Thank you, Valeria. Hi guys, I'm here with Floyd Warner. He's out of Georgia with Warner's Wings. Floyd, how you doing today? How you enjoying Nats?
Doing great, having a great time.
Yeah?
Enjoying seeing all of my friends and in perusing the vendor area.
Yeah, that's always fun. Tell us a little bit about Warner's Wings and what you brought to Nats this year.
So our newest thing is AH64D and the E decals for the Tacoma and Meng kits. So, but for the company, we primarily do helicopters. At the moment, mostly American helicopters, but we're branching out. We all do 3D printed stuff now, so that's all we do. We do decals, as you just saw, and yeah, but it's an occasional 109 products that I build for me because I like 109s.
Okay. So what inspired Warner's Wings? How did you get into this?
Well, I flew Cobras in Desert Storm with the 1st Cav Division, and I wanted to build my helicopter, and there was no decals and there was no mods for the monogram kit at the time. So I had somebody do some work for me that had 3D CAD capabilities, and from there I was like, maybe somebody else will want it. And the next thing I know, I keep on going and keep on building the product line.
Awesome. So like minds, you know.
Yep.
You make it, people will want it. So that's very cool. How long ago did you start this company?
You know, truthfully, I can't remember. It's been at least 7 years.
Yeah.
At least.
If you're not counting all the stuff you made just for yourself.
Yeah, that happens too.
Very cool. And it looks like you have decals for like Chinooks and Blackhawks and
so this side is the Sikorsky side of the house and other aircraft.
Okay.
But we got stuff like the markings for the Coast Guard, which nobody else offers. We offer a conversion set to make the Coast Guard aircraft the Jayhawk. We have Pavehawks. We have Irene. This is a particularly good release for us. That's the only decal that we've reprinted. The thing about Irene is that sheet comes with a complete history of all the aircraft that were used in Somalia and Gothic Serpent.
Yes.
Including the aircraft that were on the ground, the ones that were brought back as maintenance spares, and the ones that were flown in from out of country.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
And it includes both Blackhawks and Little Birds.
Oh, very nice. Very cool. And that's all in 35th scale?
That's all 35th scale.
Okay, very cool. Do you, there's a lot of 72nd, 48 stuff hitting the market. Are you,
48 scale I do. 72nd scale I don't do
Yeah.
because the return on investment is very low, especially on decals because not many decals get sold. And most people don't know that it costs at least $1,000 to do a run of decals.
Okay.
So to get your money back, it's
Sure.
it's a little harder to do.
Sure. And then on this side of the table, what do we have?
This is the Bell product side of the table. This is my personal favorite because I've flown most of these aircraft. I fly Cobras with the Army Aviation Heritage Foundation. I fly Hueys with them as well. So I get to hang out with all those guys. And then I flew Kiowa Warriors just before I retired. So if there's a Kiowa Warrior variant that you want, I've got all the conversion sets to make any version of that from the MRC kit.
That's very cool. Very nice. Well, Floyd, I appreciate your time. This is an awesome subject. Like I said, told you earlier, Cobras are probably my favorite helicopter. So when I get around to it, I've done them in 72 scale. Helicopters get big, man, but rotary aircraft, especially that one, is something I want to get into. So I'm glad I met you, and I'll definitely get a business card because I'm certain I'll be buying something from you soon.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Floyd.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, guys, I am here with Daniel Yeselanis for Casemate Publishers. Daniel, what is your role at Casemate?
Yeah, so I'm the marketing and publicity director. So I just make sure that we get the word out about all our books to the masses. And that includes showing up here at IPMS, meeting our customers. It's our favorite show to do every year, and just get to meet people, talk about modeling, military history, and yeah, it's great.
Right on. And if we get a little history about Casemates, how did it start and how did it develop?
Yeah, so we were founded, I think about a little over 20 years ago. Our founder, David Farnsworth, kind of came out of the book business out in England. We have our office right outside Philadelphia. So we're a small team, maybe 20 people in the US. We have our own publishing program, which we publish books like these. So it's Casemate Publishers. So we publish our own military history and like illustrated history books. But we also distribute books for publishers from around the world. So a lot of what you're going to see at our booth are publishers from different parts of the world. Like this is Avonmore Books. They're based out of Australia. They do aviation books.
Right.
Hellion, they do military history. They're based out of England. And we have other publishers, places like Belgium, Poland. Like we distribute their books in the United States. So we have combined with our own stuff and publishers from around the world. We have a really nice selection of military history. Most of what we have here is obviously stuff that's good for scale modelers, markings, color profiles, armor, aviation.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you, as far as Casemates is concerned, is there anything you can talk about that's in development or that you're researching or any new publishing that's going to be hitting the market anytime soon?
I don't know if I have any like super specific new stuff. We're always working on expanding and I can just go grab a couple of these, sorry. We're always working on expanding our Casemate Illustrated series. So we have a couple more coming out. I think next year we have some Night Fighter Aces books.
Oh, that'll be cool.
And then we're always having more World War II. What we've done recently, and I don't have any of them here with us, is we've actually expanded this series into the Civil War and the Revolutionary War. For kind of like, obviously less like overviews of like aircraft.
Right.
Not a thing back then.
Not going to have photographs.
No, but artwork and maps, pictures of reenactors, and people have really enjoyed it. So we've done a couple books on the Atlanta campaign of the Civil War, the Philadelphia campaign of the Revolutionary War. So we're kind of excited to see the series expand. That's
incredible. Well, Daniel, thank you so much. I appreciate the interview and the background and everything. I love your books and your publishing. So we're gonna wrap this up, and I think I'm gonna spend a few dollars. So
Awesome.
Thank
Great
you.
to chat.